Guys, I'm so excited to be bringing you. This is really officially the first episode of Mommy and Me, but as you guys know, if you have been following me, well, if you are new here, my name is Brii Renee, straight from the A, and this is my lovely, boisterous, obnoxious, and so many other things mother. No, just playing. But if you guys have been following my channel or following me on social media for a while, at least since the pandemic, me and my mom started going live on Instagram during the pandemic when the world was shut down as just a way to bond. And I really was on this wave of like wanting to help entrepreneurs. I know that a lot of people ask me often in interviews or when I'm doing anything, who inspired you or what makes you like this or why are you so different or so ambitious and just a go-getter. And it's really all because of how I was raised in my mom. So I always tell my mom, and even my friends, they're always like, your mom is like our mom and she's like a gem. We have to protect her at all costs. She's a national black historical moment. No, I'm just playing. But because I understand the impact and the knowledge and the wealth of wisdom that you have, I convinced her during the pandemic to start doing Mommy and Me moments on IG Live. So we did that for a while, and then she got a little camera shy. Yeah, a little camera shy.
I didn't get camera shy. I just
a little nervous. She was like, oh, it's not for me. Too many followers. The guys, people are liking, it's too much attention. She became a diva. She is by far the most diva talent I've ever worked with, and I've worked with a lot of big names. But no, but she kind of shied away from it during the pandemic. But now I have convinced her to come back with Mommy and Me. You guys have been blowing up my DMs. You're the most asked about person.
I'm only going to do it as long as they want to see it. So if they stop following and if they stop,
they're not going to stop following me because you're not here.
If they stop participating, if they stop asking questions, then I'm going to fall back.
Okay,
I mean,
so
there has to be a demand, you know,
Oh,
and I will supply as long as there's a demand.
So she's a hot commodity and she's in demand.
If there's a demand, then certainly they can expect to see me. But if there's no demand, my services are no longer going to be available.
No, seriously, it was a lot. I will give you your credit. A lot of people were like, you got to bring this back. A lot of people that follow me that I don't even know. They were like, I love this.
That's because you got to understand, what we talked about was not scripted. We were just being real. We were just being authentic. And we're just being honest. I mean, because we were just talking about, life.
Yeah.
And raising a hard-headed ass child, in life. And you were a handful.
We'll get there. But so we hope to continue to bring, as long as you guys demand.
There's a demand. If there's no demand, I'm out.
Yeah. So we have to keep this lady in demand. And we'll keep bringing you real, authentic, raw conversations. I think it's nothing like this, and I'm really excited because it's a multi-generational. I was gonna say multicultural, but we're the same culture. But I'm saying it's a multi.
There's a little bit of difference in it. There's a little bit of spice in it. I had a little cream in my coffee, but go ahead.
A little bit. Well, not cream. We're gonna say that was like
a little mocha.
Yeah, cream. A little mocha. Okay. It wasn't cream. We don't do cream.
A mocha.
With no dairy. It was a little mocha. Little caramel.
Little
caramel to your swirl. Anyways, but yeah, I think I have never seen a show where it's been multi-generational conversations and honest, open, like just raw conversations about things that we experience in our culture, or even as like daughters dealing with black mamas. Because black mamas is a whole thing. Like, it's a hashtag.
Well, I mean, being a black mama is really not that bad. I mean, you make it sound like it was a disease.
It kind of is, though.
Being a black mama is not that bad.
Surviving black mothers coming to Lifetime, too.
The truth be honest with you, hell, I really didn't even want kids when I was coming up as a teenager. I really didn't. I mean, it was just the thought of kids just really just got on my last nerve.
That kind of makes me, I feel like that now.
It just, I didn't.
I understand that.
I didn't think I wanted kids. It's like I had my nephew, I had nieces, and I loved them dearly, but I just didn't see myself as a mama. I mean, I had other things to do.
You definitely took on the role as a black mom pretty well. For you not to want that role,
well, I mean,
you embodied it.
I had a role model, which is
your black ass mama,
my queen, my mama.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, because when I think about my mama and what she endured to provide a home for her, yeah, she's my queen, and my mama will always be my queen. And I can sit here and talk about it for years and years and years, the trauma and the tragedies and the things that we went through as a family, and to see my mama survive it all and to still keep our family together, and the love that she poured into us, and then the motivation that she instilled in all of us. Now, some of us got it, some of us didn't, and it took some of us a little longer to get it than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my mama was my queen, and I love her dearly today for that, because we'll talk about this later on down the line in some of other episodes. Mama had a chance to be free.
Yeah.
She had a chance to live
say the hell with them badass kids.
Yeah, she had a chance to say the hell with them badass kids, but she chose to, weather the storm and to raise us and to instill in us the values
and
that
to provide,
we have to,
and
and
keep
to
her
provide.
family strong and together.
And absolutely, and so for that, she's to be commended. She's 83 today, and she still raised just as much. Well, I'll take that back. She doesn't raise as much hell as she used to raise.
Oh, she be raising it.
Because we're all grown now.
She raised it with me.
Yeah, she kind of gives you guys that love. I got it. So, she's kind of laid off me a little bit. Now she's kind of
She told me yesterday, you be going outside all half naked, you're going to catch pneumonia in the ass.
Well,
I'm like, I didn't even know you can catch pneumonia in your ass, actually.
But, I mean, considering I heard that coming up, so I had to dress a little bit more conservative than you probably always talking about.
She's like, you're always walking out with your stomach out. It's wintertime.
So you see, that's why I don't dress with my stomach out today.
She's like, you got your stomach out in the wintertime. You're supposed to do that in the summer. You know your seasons.
Well, I got it. So that's why I don't dress with my stomach out.
She's like, you're getting old now, so you need to be taking more vitamins to build up your immune system.
Well, she's only telling you the truth.
I'm like, okay. But then I felt good because I put her up on the new vitamin. She didn't even know.
Okay.
She said, okay, where you get that from? I said, Amazon. She said, what? You're ordering vitamins from the mail.
Well, you got to understand that's totally...
She said she don't even trust that.
You got to understand that's totally, there's about 3 generations between the two of you.
I was like, Granny, I'm about to deposit my check on my phone. I don't trust that phone with you gonna take a picture of your check? How you don't know somebody gonna take it? I'm like, it's literally the bank app. She's like, I don't trust it.
Nah, mama's old school. Nah.
But I love it. I love my grandma so much, and like you said, I do commend her for being. I didn't even realize until, and we'll get into a little bit of that too, about like how black families, we don't talk about stuff. Like, I don't know if it's just my black ass family, but I'm sure your black ass family got a whole bunch of secrets that y'all don't talk about either. You be like, that's Uncle Ray's son? I didn't know that. Y'all been raising him as his brother this whole time. You never know look, she over there like, oh, I kind of got a cousin like that. I know, because we in black families don't talk about a lot, but here's the thing. I after going through some of our own deaths in our family, and us having
trials
and tribulations, and having real conversations that needed to be had. As a black woman, I am thoroughly way more, I feel like, equipped and confident in my ability to overcome. Like, I think that I know we always strong black women, right? And I'm trying to get away from even saying that and owning that, but
you can't. You will never be able to get away from being a strong black woman and owning that, and realizing that that's just who we are. As women, from the beginning, we were taught to survive, to pick up the pieces. And I hate to say this way, but when some men come home and they're fragile, they don't know what to do, it was always looked upon the woman to do the cleaning, to do the nurturing, to do the surviving, to figure it away. He brought the bacon home, but hell, you had to figure out what to do with the bacon. Because he expected you to be able to pay the bills, to raise your children, to make sure they got an education, to cook the food, to wash the clothes. I mean, hell, we had to wear.
It's like all you had to do was go to work and get the money. That's such an easy job.
Well, hey, but we as black women had to learn how to survive.
Raising children alone is a lot.
Hell, raising every woman raising children is the hardest thing in my life that I've ever done. I've had to endure some shit. Raising children. And if any of you black women out there, Every black woman out there will agree with me, and I'm sure you will.
Or every mom.
Let me back it up. I was going to say every mom out there, I'm sure you will agree with me. Raising children is the hardest damn job there is in the world. You don't come with a damn manual. I got to figure shit out. None of you are the same. I've got 2 different kids. One's going to give me hell. The other one's going to be sweet, mild, and manner.
I was sweet and mild and manner, wasn't I?
Bag the hell up. No.
Well, we both gave you hell, but in different hells.
You see my point? You see my point? At different times, and they were 9 years apart.
But it was completely different hell.
It was the same type of hell, but it was a different era. And
it was different hells. Like, you had to fight with my sister about, like, schoolwork and getting good grades. And you were like, if you could just graduate, if I could just get her to graduate high school. Like, but me and boys. I had boys. But I enjoyed school.
I'm so glad you are telling me my pains through your lens, because your lens were cloudy, my dear. Your lens were cloudy. No. There was a lot more things as a parent I had to worry about.
No, I wasn't
keeping you safe, keeping you fed, keeping you educated, making sure you stayed on track, keeping you from the knuckleheads, making sure you understand what core values were, making sure you keep your legs closed, making sure you understand the importance of certain things in life. I mean, there's a lot of shit.
I helped you with a lot of that.
No, you didn't. I hope you. I'm glad you think highly of yourself, but you didn't.
I'm saying because like you didn't have to fight with me to go to school. You didn't have to fight. Like I enjoyed.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you why. Because as a parent, you learn little things, you know, with each child. I learned little things that
made me enjoy learning.
That I didn't necessarily know with the first one. And I learned little tricks and techniques to kind of get you to think a certain way. You see, when Tisha, when your sister came along, you know, I was so busy grinding and so busy trying to prepare and make sure, you know, the lights were on and I worked and I'm still elevating myself. And sometimes, you know, people are spitting out kids. Yeah, people are spitting out kids so fast and they don't really have time to, you know, to understand and take in a lot of these things. But if you have the opportunity to realize your children are different.
Do you think so? Do you feel like the first child always gonna be fucked up no matter what? Because you really don't know.
First of all, let's clarify something. My first child is not fucked up.
No, she's not. She turned out great. You turned out really better than
clearly so what no, she was the first child.
To do.
The first child.
But I'm saying not as.
The first child is gonna be more of your test, your trial. You know, your trial.
Shout out to all the firstborns out there.
Yeah, all the firstborns are always the trial. You know, and God, you know.
God be with you.
God be with you, and hopefully you survive it. But the second child always kind of get the gravy, so to speak. You know.
I don't feel like I got that.
Well, you did because you know you hear kids.
You had a little bit more equipment, but your patience was way thinner with me.
Yeah, because I've been through the bullshit once, and I wasn't going through it twice.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't get away with anything.
You got away with enough. Trust me, you did.
No.
You got away. You need to thank God you're still living, baby. You should thank God every day that my mama didn't kill me.
But what make you think, that's what I don't get about black mamas. Why do y'all think y'all have the right to take somebody's life?
Because I had the right to bring you here.
You didn't have the right. God blessed you with the opportunity. He blessed me with the right,
and he was also going to bless me with the opportunity to take you out of here.
No, he can't bless you with that.
Simple as that.
That's terrible.
No, but, you know, parenting is unique.
I'll take back too. You said that with the first child, you were so busy grinding.
I was so busy grinding and so busy trying to get to that level and trying to make sure that I was able to provide and make sure that, you know, I could provide a stable environment, a good home, and, you know, my kids were going to good. So there were so many things that I'm trying to accomplish with that first kid because I know that this kid is dependent on me. It's a little easier with the second kid because you kind of going through those growing pains and you're already established. You know, you've already, you know, you're in a good environment. You're in a good home. You know where the kids are going to go to school. You know, so you can take some of the pressures off. So it's a little bit easier financially. You know, I won't say that it was easier, so to speak.
I feel like you didn't really stop grinding, sis.
I know. I'm never going to stop grinding. I'm just saying those are things that, having the very first child, things that you're more conscious of, things that you're more mindful. You begin to relax a little bit more once the second kid comes.
You had a little bit more confidence.
You had a little bit more stability.
Okay.
I won't necessarily say it was confidence, because I've always been a confident woman, and a lot of times people confuse that with arrogance, and it's not. It's just knowing who I am. But, kids, when the times are changing, the eras are different, the interest is different, so you learn a lot. Kids are kind of like ever evolving, and, I just tell them, they're fucking overrated, period. Kids are overrated. I mean,
that's why I don't have any guys.
Kids are just overrated.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I feel like, not me though. Other people kids.
No, your kid, you were overrated too.
No, I was not. I think I'm the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
I beg your pardon?
What's greater than me?
I have two beautiful grandkids that...
They ain't did shit.
But they adore me. They love, I walk in the
grandkids
room.
don't do nothing but ask you, they scam you out of your money.
That's fine. And I don't mind being scammed.
Well, you sure had a problem when it came to me.
Well, that's different.
When did you get so tight?
Because I can love my grandkids and send them home. Okay, that baby, the kids are getting on my nerve, take them home now. With you, I was fucking stuck.
Well, blessed. Let's change our way of thinking about it.
Okay.
I think I was like, besides, the grandkids give you like little mild joy. But like, I'm literally a spitting image of you, but better.
Whose opinion that you're better?
I'm saying.
Whose opinion that you're better? You couldn't be a spitting image of me that you're a little worse.
But no, worse?
Yeah.
I've taken what you have and elevated it. What you've given me and elevated it. I put
whose opinion?
Splat on it.
I'm so glad you think highly of yourself. And I'm very glad to know that I've given you that confidence.
No, but for sure, I'm saying like, even when you said like you always kept grinding, at first when I was a kid, I literally hated that. I'm not gonna lie.
You may have hated it, but guess what?
I know. Let me finish my thoughts. Let me tell you my experience. We didn't heard your experience, okay? I did hate it as a child because I felt like as a little girl, you do want a lot more attention or nurturing from your mom. But having the mom that I had that had a 9-to-5 and still was hustling as an entrepreneur on the side, I never not known you to have a hustle. You built that house in the back of our first house before I was out of kindergarten. So you always had like your own passions or passion projects, even if they weren't like fully paying your bills, because you always had a job at the city as an entrepreneur. I mean, as an attorney, you started off as a public defender, but while that you always, hustled on the side, had your passion projects. But I felt like as your child, I felt like, well, damn, when's she gonna care about me? Like, I didn't say that in those words, but I did feel like I was longing for attention that I didn't get. And I often I did end up getting it from the other motherly figures that I had in my life, but as a child, nothing is like your actual maternal figure. You long for that. But I will give you credit. Now that I am an adult and once I got older and I see a lot of you in me, I appreciate seeing you grind. Like, I appreciate watching you have a 9-to-5 and then have passion projects and then hustle and then never lose yourself in motherhood, because a lot of women do lose themselves and you didn't give a damn about us.
That's not true.
Look, it's fish sticks in the microwave in case you get hungry. I gotta go. I'm about to take this meeting. You can ride with me. And if you ride, you gotta sit down and shut the hell up. Because
that is not true. I never said there were fish sticks in the oven. No. Okay, you were never raised on boxed food. Okay, let's be
leftovers.
Honest. No, but I had to prepare them first. Okay?
My grandma cooked.
Yeah, your grandmama did cook all the time. Your grandmother cooked. I cooked. So let's grant it. You never.
She got 3 dishes in her arsenal.
You never went without a home cooked meal. So
a lot of days.
No, you didn't.
But I ain't miss no real meals. I'm a little thick. No. But I'm just saying, I really appreciate just watching you grind. I think that's what's giving me the confidence, the motivation, and just the know-how. Like, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how small you are. I think the ambition of it all. I think I get that, my ambition from you naturally.
That I would have to give credit again to my mom, because as a little girl, and I tell people this all the time, my mother wasn't a college educated woman. My mother, didn't come from a wealthy family. My mother didn't have the support and the family structure, pouring into her. So everything she learned, I think she learned by trial and error, and she learned the best that she could learn. And so with that, she took and poured into us. And I never forget my mother sitting me down one day and telling me that, baby, she says, I want to tell you something. She says, anything in this world you want to do, just know that you can do it. She says, I don't care what it is. All you have to do is believe in yourself and trust in God. She says, there are no limits in this life as to what you can do. And that has always been my mantra. That has lived with me and stuck with me through my entire life. And I have lived my life with, and as everything that I approach with that in the back of my mind, is that if I set my mind and my heart and my determination to do it, then there's nothing stopping me from doing it but me. And so all the desires, growing up poor, and although I grew up poor, I will say that I think we grew up wealthy. And we grew up wealthy with love and support. We grew up wealthy with the mama who truly, truly poured into us. Was enough for me to be motivated to go out there and conquer things in this world that I desired. And I feel like, hey, there were times in my life when I figured, okay, my brakes are going out. So guess what? I want to fix my brakes. So let me figure out how to do that. So I may go to a shop and see somebody do it one time. It's like, okay, I paid you this time, but I'm not paying you the next time. I'm going to do this myself. And so I said, okay, I want to do this. Well, let me figure out how to do that, how to make that happen. All of that was because I had a mama who put that foundation in me. And that was what I'm glad to know that I passed on to you, is to say, okay, you
Some of that, I'm not changing no brakes.
Well, you ain't got to change the brake. I don't even change brakes now,
Yeah, I'm paying for it.
But what I'm saying is that as long as you've got somebody, and I say this to each and every parent out there, it is important what you say to your children and how you raise your children and how you mold your children. Because if you constantly telling your child or your children, you bad, or you stupid, or you dumb, or you this, you would never, I've never said those type of words to my children, and would never, and it would be appalling of any parent. So what I'm saying to any parent that's out there listening today, if you've ever thought about or said any of those things, stop it. Stop it right now, because you will be surprised of what you're saying to your child, how it's going to affect the rest of their lives. Even parents, and I'm not just saying this to women, but men too. Be careful about what you tell your children. When you pour into your children, you can give your children the courage. And as long as you teach them, now I don't care whether you worship Buddha, Allah, Jesus Christ, the Hindus, or, whoever is out there, there's got to be some spiritual connection that they've got to have, first of all, with somebody, to where they believe in the power of being, and giving them the courage to do whatever they desire to do and to become whoever they're going to become. And let them know that as long as you got there, you're there with them and you're encouraging them, there's no limit to what they can do and what they can accomplish and achieve in this world.
Do you feel like children do as you say, or do they do as you do?
Both.
Because there was a lot of stuff you was saying, I'm like, girl, bye. You don't even do that. And so what I'm going to do it for?
Yeah, both.
But I feel like I honestly earned a lot of what you did without you even having to say it. Like, you didn't tell me to be an entrepreneur.
No.
You told me to go to school and get a good job.
Yeah.
Go to college, get a good job, like every other old school parent tells you to do.
But no. I didn't sell you on the dream of that getting a good education is gonna save you, or you were gonna.
That was the main thing. Hold on. Preached. No.
I did preach education, but my purpose for preaching education, so that you would be able to compete. That's it. So that no one could ever shut a door in your face because you were less than. That was my only purpose for telling you to get an education. You see, I wanted you to be able to walk in the door whether it was in corporate America or entrepreneurship, with enough knowledge and enough understanding of this world and how this world worked to where nobody could tell you no.
I don't really think you thought about entrepreneurship.
No, I didn't think about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that
I didn't
wasn't
know.
a thing
I mean,
back
my
then.
entrepreneur wasn't a thing, but I wanted you to be able to compete in this
Yeah.
world. And I've always told you this: the purpose of your education so that you could compete.
Yeah, but did you know that you were an entrepreneur?
I don't know that we didn't call it entrepreneurship back then.
Wow, that's ancient ages.
Yeah,
Wow,
we
that word
didn't.
didn't even exist.
No, it didn't.
That's
It was
crazy.
entrepreneur. I mean,
You were always an entrepreneur. You were a working entrepreneur.
Right, and I never looked at it that way because as long as I can remember, I've always had a job and I've always had a side hustle.
You thought you were just hustling, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
No, I wasn't robbing nobody. I was doing what I knew to do, and part of that was my mother's work ethics. My mama always told me, first of all, you don't sit down and wait for anybody to give you anything. You go out, you work for it. You don't beg, you don't steal, and you don't take. So whatever you desire in this world, you work for it.
Yeah.
And that's all I've done is work for it. So guess what? I saw my mom work 2 and 3 jobs every day just so that we could have the little that we had. So I knew that in order for me to live the life that I liked, the lifestyle that I saw on television, the lifestyle that I saw other people, when I would ride up in Buckhead at 6 years old selling peanut butter, when I saw the big fancy houses and the big fancy cars, I knew, based on what my mama said, that I had to work for it. So when working one job didn't do it, I had to work another job to do it. And sometimes I had 3 and 4 jobs to live and do the things that I wanted to do and give my kids the lifestyle that I wanted to give them. So working is all I ever known.
Well, I'll give you your credit. You did a
And
good
so
job.
I'm glad that I've rubbed off on and I'm so happy that as I look back, even as I look at you, your sister's not an entrepreneur, but she's always had the work ethics.
Yeah,
I
she's always had a job.
She's always worked.
Yeah.
Even and I started working when I was 9, but I remember her working at Kroger's at 14 years old, working at Popeyes at 13 and 14 years old, So I look back on that and
She
say,
worked at the most ghettoest Popeyes too on McAfee.
that wasn't McAfee, baby. That was
That's McAfee.
No, that was Memorial Drive. That wasn't McAfee.
It's Memorial and McAfee, ain't it?
No, it wasn't McAfee. That was Memorial in Columbia. Memorial in Columbia. At Avondale. That was
Avondale.
that was not McAfee. Used to be Avondale Mall.
Yeah, but that's ghetto.
Maybe now, but it
I
wasn't
know, but
back
I'm
then.
saying, but at 13, when you think about a 13-year-old working in the hood like that, I mean,
But it was
wasn't
safe.
It was
wasn't-
nicer then.
Yeah, it was nicer.
It was
then.
nicer then.
It was safe, and she worked. She exhibited some work ethic.
No, I'm proud of her. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that's,
she worked at
that's
Kroger,
why we
and
tough.
she had, she won an award for being, one of the most pleasant and, cashiers, and, was real. And I was very proud of her because that just showed, that she listened.
Yeah.
She listened.
One
She
thing
got
about
it.
the
She
women in this
understood.
family, we gonna work.
Oh yeah, we're gonna work.
We're gonna
We're
keep
not.
us-
We're not afraid of working.
What? So if you weren't thinking about, obviously you didn't even know you were an entrepreneur, but you also.
I just knew I had to work. If I wanted to live up on the hill, and I wanted to drive certain vehicles, and I wanted to drip in certain diamonds.
Not you dripping.
I had to work for it.
For
They
dripping.
don't come easy.
Drip drop. Okay. But in the midst of you dripping and you raising us, right? Like when you were raising us as children, you teaching us and instilling in us the not entrepreneurship, but you're instilling in us certain core qualities of education and hard work. Like what were some of those main core qualities you were like, I gotta teach my kids this if they don't know anything else?
Same thing my mother taught me. That unless you got a plan, this world gonna chew you up and spit you the hell out.
Oh my God, I heard that my whole life. This world will chew you
up and spit you the hell out.
Look at me. The world has chewed me up and spit me out a couple times. I'm not even gonna lie, but I'm still standing.
Yeah. But had you listened, you could have saved yourself some of those chewing up.
No, sometimes ain't nothing you can do.
Okay.
The world's
You're
still
right.
gonna chew you up. But once they spit you out, just wipe off the spit and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's so disgusting. But
Absolutely.
yeah, that's exactly.
Absolutely.
But okay, the world gonna chew you up and spit you out. Education and hard work. That was it. That's what you thought.
Those
like,
are
was
core
the-
values that I think any and every parent should teach their children. You've got to see some parents, and this is what I hate
What you hate
about
girl?
some people when they're having children, and they really shouldn't be having children, because they don't understand that you can't expect to raise a child to be respectable, to be honorable, to be a hard worker. Hell, if you're not.
That's what I'm saying. I think children see what you
You know,
do.
if you're not, if all your kids, all they see is that, you know, you're trying to beat
chasing
the system.
behind a nigga, or
Yeah, you're chasing behind a nigga. You know, you're trying to beat the system. You know, and listen, I don't have anything against social services. I think there's a need for it. I think people need that upper hand and that help. But I come from an era where my mama was proud, and we didn't get social services. My mama had 5 kids in the house she was raising. We didn't get social services. There wasn't no welfare checks. There wasn't no welfare. There wasn't no food stamps. You know, if mama didn't go get it, you know, and bring it in the house, we didn't get it. And my mama would always tell us, you don't go out there beg nobody. If we don't have it, we do it that. My mama we were poor, but she was proud. You know, there were certain things.
Wait, but don't you think that as black people sometimes that could be to our detriment, being poor and proud, or being too prideful?
I think maybe,
and I think as black women,
we
need to learn how to.
Yes, to some degree, but let me tell you why.
Let me get my question out.
Let me say what I'm saying,
and then you can answer. Don't you feel like at some point, black women, we have to put down our pride? Don't you feel like sometimes we're too prideful, and it hurts us to be so prideful that we're afraid to ask for help?
Being grown as a woman and being the person that I am now, I can truly say that yes, because even now I have a hard time accepting things or accepting. And I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, and I'm the type of person that if me and my group or whoever I'm with and we go out to eat, well, I'm going to naturally pick up the tab. And for some people that
we need a friend like that.
And some people that, you know, that's a problem. But I don't do it because I'm arrogant, or I don't do it because, you know, I think I'm better than anybody. I just do it because I'm capable and I'm able, and I do it. But at the same time, I fight with my friends when they try to pick up my tab. I'm like, no. They were like, look, learn how to accept things. And it's like I've always grown up having to survive. I've always grown up having to fend for myself and never expecting anybody to do anything for me, never expecting any handouts, or, you know, if I was having a rough time, rather than go cry about it or ask somebody, figure it out, you know, improvise. And so it's hard to sit back a lot of times and accept, you know, the goodwill of others. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's a double-edged sword.
But I think you should work on that. I think you should work on allowing.
Well, I'm at a point now.
You should work.
Give me everything you want. Okay, girl. This is gonna give you my Christmas list now.
Yeah, like learn how to accept help. Learn how to. I think that's something that I'm in therapy, and I'm working through that, because I literally told my therapist that I was like, my friends told me that, like, you went through so much last year, and you go through so much, and you act like you got it all together, but we know, and we like, how can we be of service to you? And I'm like, well, I don't even know what that looks like, because I never seen. Not to say you didn't have friends. You had friends that you partied with, and they would come over in good times. But I never seen you allow anybody to come over when you were going through something bad, or be there for you to help you out. Or
I had a friend that called me, and I'm going through some things personally right now. And she literally called me up, and she said, hey, you know, I want you and Jackie to come over for dinner. I said, well, okay. Well, then things got rough. And I said, well, we'll take a rain check. And so she was persistent, and she called me back during the week, and she says, look, I need to lay eyes on you. You're going to have dinner with us this day, and we're not taking no. I think it was last Friday. You're going to have dinner with us. We're not taking no. And I got another call right behind that. And by the way, you're not paying for the tab. And I thought, well, what? I mean, you know, but they were making it known that.
Setting expectations.
Right, that, hey, you know, we love you, we're concerned about you, we're your friend, and we're here for you, and there's certain things that we're not going to allow you to do. Oh. And I was like, oh, you know, that really made me feel good, that they just wanted to be with me and just show me that.
Romantic.
Yeah, that just showed me that they love me.
No,
and that meant a lot to me.
It should. I think that means a lot to me as your daughter too, because I just know how much of the weight of the world you carry on yourself, and like I said, I naturally have that, and gratefully, I didn't wait till I was 60 to work on it. You know what I mean?
It's never too late to change.
Yeah, it's never too late. Not saying it's too late for you, but I'm saying I'm grateful that I am working on it earlier. But it makes me happy to see you even working through that now.
I'm working through it.
Yeah, you deserve it. I think everybody, especially moms, like doing, like you said, you working, you got kids, you doing this, and you an entrepreneur, and then it's black women, and that's a whole nother subgenre. Shout out to all the friends that pull up when you don't know it, and that show up, or that force you to pull up, or that force you to put the check up. I got a friend like that. I got a rich homegirl too, B Simone. Shout out to you, girl. She always be like picking up the tab or doing stuff, and I genuinely will fight her as well. Like, let me do for you now. Sometimes it be like, girl, you got it, cause this your budget range. I ain't got it like that yet. But when I can, I do, or in ways that I can do for her, I do for her to let her know that. So I think we all got to be like proactive with showing people.
You know, but going back to what I said earlier, is being raised by a single mom, black woman, who didn't have the guidance, and you're fortunate. Your generation and your sister generation, you're fortunate. You've got me, you've got your grandmother, you've got other, your aunts and things that are here and that we're pouring into you in your lives. But mama didn't have that. So, being a black woman, but it's like we have to prepare our children. We were forced to prepare our children to survive. It's like, don't want you to become too dependent on anybody but yourself, because we don't want you to be let down. And you also got to know, we also got to raise you to understand now, you're going to have a strike against you anyway, because of what?
You're black.
Simply because you're a black woman. Yeah. So if you...
That's two strikes.
Right. You're a black woman, and then and then having to teach your children, you're black women, well, you're going to have to compete in this world. And I knew you're going to have to compete in this world. So I've got to prepare you to be as fit to compete as I possibly can. It's not good enough that you can just be beautiful.
Clearly, you definitely.
And I banged that in your head all your life.
Which brings me to my next question. What's something that you were so adamant about when I was growing up, but you might have realized it wasn't as important as you thought? Because I can tell you one.
I can tell you one too.
Go ahead.
Teaching you that just because you're beautiful.
That's the same one I was going to use.
Don't let that shit go to your head. Yeah. Because your looks were only going to get you so far.
They've got to be way farther than what you
well,
thought
maybe, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Now I see, and that's part of the other part of your question. Now I see that teaching you to downplay your beauty wasn't that important, because it has opened up doors for you. But the importance of that was to teach you needed brains as well. You see, I couldn't stand the thought of watching television, and that's what you see, all these beautiful Marilyn Monroes, beautiful, but had no fucking brains. They were, no offense to all those Marilyn Monroe lovers.
Are gonna cancel us.
No offense. I'm just simply using that as a paramount.
Yeah. But she did. If you watch her documentary, her show,
they portrayed her, and I think she was a very intelligent woman.
I think she was smart. She knew how to use her je ne sais quoi as a woman.
Right, but I didn't want you. I didn't want the world to use you that way.
Yeah.
And I simply wanted you to be able to be beautiful, be intelligent, but be strong. Be your own woman, for so to speak.
Yeah.
Don't let people take advantage of you just because you're beautiful.
Yeah.
So if you had your education with you, you equipped with your education, you equipped with your upbringing, your beauty. So if the good Lord called me home today, I can surely go home knowing that I think you'll be okay.
I think I could survive out here.
I think you can survive out here.
You.
Because I should tell you.
I won't be able to. I already tell my friends, if anything happened to my mom, you're going to have to come scoop me off the ground.
And I think you and your sister both would be okay.
I'm going to be a wreck.
Yeah.
No, but now I do think that's something that I felt like, and I think it lowered my self-esteem.
And I didn't mean for it to lower your self-esteem.
You stomped on it.
But that's okay.
You stomped on my self-esteem.
But guess what? Had I not lowered your self-esteem, you would be one of those women that nobody could stand. You would have been the ultimate bitch. They come in the room thinking that, I'm beautiful, I'm 5'9", and Brii has arrived. Wait, hold that fuck up. It ain't about
like
Brii.
You walked in this room is what you're saying.
I walked in this room, it's like, hey, I'm here now, but let's get this shit on the road. Okay. Punctuality is a key for me.
Okay.
You're
right. I probably would have been
right. So
I would have been like Mariah Carey.
And I
couldn't.
And I probably could not. And as a parent, I would not have wanted to dislike my child.
Solely
Simple. So I had to deviate that
you broke it out of me a little
That's
bit.
fine.
You did.
But you survived it, baby.
Every time, let me tell y'all, we would be in the car. You know, you a passenger side princess riding in the car, right in the passenger seat. I would always get in the car and
that shit would irritate me to my core.
I would leave the visor down and like open. I would be in the mirror, you know, before school, getting yourself together, and she would slam. I'm talking about slam the visor closed so hard. Get out the goddamn mirror. You're so fucking vain. And it doesn't matter what you, it was like, whoa, hate on me because I'm beautiful.
First of all, let's back it up. I didn't use all of those explicit words, okay?
Girl!
I may have said, get out the damn mirror, okay? You're vain. And that was part of, you're so vain. Because you didn't need to grow up being vain. Okay, you were beautiful. You're beautiful, thank God. I mean,
so what? You're cute. That doesn't matter. Like,
I mean, me and the good Lord,
Oh, Lord.
And the donor had a little bit to do with it. But, at the end of the day,
I'm equipped.
You're equipped.
I have survival skills.
You survive,
and I have way more than the beauty is the cherry on the top. With
Absolutely.
Me. And I will give you that. You did that.
That's all. That's all I was trying to do.
You could have used a different technique,
but I gave you the technique that you needed.
Okay. I beg the difference.
Yeah, I gave you the technique.
I'm saying my self-esteem was very low at certain points in my life, and I didn't even. And people still to this day be like, I don't think you realize how beautiful you are.
And you don't. That's okay. That's fine. That you don't need to tell those people. I said, if they knew that you knew how beautiful you were, you would be a bitch. You would be a royal bitch. And that's not the daughter that I wanted.
Or not be a bitch. I am kind.
You would be a bitch.
No, I would be annoying.
You wouldn't be the Brii Renee you are had I not brought that little vainness down a notch or two.
Well, I appreciate you, sweetie.
Okay.
You're doing phenomenal.
Okay, thank you.
You did the best that you could with what you had.
That's all right.
I'm grateful for it.
It worked.
It did.
It worked.
To a degree. Okay, well, thanks for shattering my self-esteem on the way up. No, just playing.
You got it back.
I had to work for this.
You got it back and a little bit more.
I had to work for this tooth and nail. No, I think I'm right at that good sweet spot of the even. I'm finally there. But yeah, so before we go, at the end of each episode, I like that I want us to do this truthful questions, right? So it's like, I want to know. That's what it's called. I want to know. And then you get to ask me a question, and I get to ask you a question. And we have to both answer honestly and truthfully. Okay. You have to answer.
Okay.
So I'm going to go first. And you have to answer no matter how much it pains you.
Something tells me I'm not going to like this one, but go ahead.
I want to know, how does it feel to know you birthed a bad bitch?
Oh, my goodness. Well, from my understanding, there's several levels of bad bitches. So, I'm kind of confused along those lines. I'm trying to figure out I could consider myself as a bad bitch. So I'm just trying to figure out,
Well, I'm a bad bitch because I'm beautiful. I'm smart. Like you said, I'm fully equipped. Like, in women, when we call ourselves bad bitches, it's like, oh, she's fine. She's beautiful. She's fit. She got the body. I'm like the total package. Brains, ambition, go-getter, beauty.
How do I feel?
Knowing I came out of your pants.
I mean, I feel, what mother wouldn't feel great? I feel accomplished.
Do you feel accomplished?
I feel that, I had a say in that. I was responsible for molding that. With the help of the good Lord and, some good friends that kind of help you survive along the way, because a billion of times you were almost killed. But, in light of that.
Black Mama's got to remind you could have died.
Yeah, so I feel good about that. I mean, I feel good about that.
Proud of you.
I'm proud of who you are. I'm proud of the woman that you're becoming. You still got a little bit more to go, but, if I could just get some of that veinness down.
We already did that.
Okay.
You stripped me down to the core.
All right, so I'm cool with that. I'm good. I'm grateful.
I just always wanted to know how you felt. Like, ooh, I made that.
So let me ask you this. As a kid, some kids growing up have fears.
You gotta say, I want to know.
I want to know, as a kid growing up, what was one of your greatest fears? Was it that I was going to kill you? Or no, I'm serious. What was your greatest fear growing up as a kid?
About life?
Anything, period.
Oh, my greatest fear. I always feared being broke.
Why?
I know, we've never really been poor. I don't know. I think
girl, let me tell you something.
You've been poor.
And there's a lot of days we were on the edge.
I know, but I never grew up where you struggling. Yeah, I never.
Raising you was a struggle. I mean,
I know, but even though you did, I'm giving you credit. I'm saying you did a great job of me
masking it.
Yeah, I never knew if you were, what was going on. I had everything I needed. Right. There was never anything I needed and didn't have, and anything that I wanted extra, you would make me work for it, and then I could get it. It wasn't like, you get what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I never knew, you know how some kids knew they were poor? Yeah. I didn't know, I never knew you ever had a hardship. So, I don't know why I feared being poor.
Probably because you grew up around kids that,
no,
you grew up knowing some of your friends' family struggles.
No, probably. I don't even think I knew their struggles, because I went to a pretty decent school in a pretty decent area. I never seen, like, I don't think I knew people struggled for real until maybe like when you get old in high school and people talk about, like, maybe in high school I started seeing like, dang, they mama got 6 kids, like, dang, they, you know what I mean? Or like I see their different type of struggles because I'm going over their house for real. But even then, I still didn't think we were way up there and they were, so it's such a difference. I think that just seeing you work so hard, I think that is what made me feel like in order to not be poor, I had to work hard. Because like I said, I don't know. I remember having this conversation with God. Literally, this is one of the first conversations I ever know where I knew I heard God. And I was like, I remember, I don't know what I was praying about, being poor or whatever. I was probably like 13. And I was like, I just was praying and asking God to like help me be successful. Because I used to, you always had an office. She was an attorney, so she always had an office in her house. And so I always used to play as, I didn't know what I was doing. I think I was playing as wasn't playing as an entrepreneur, because again, we didn't know what that was. I think I was playing as a businesswoman. So I would go in and play with your papers and act like I'm filing them and being like, next meeting please, or whatever. Or call John, or like whatever. I would just pretend to be, that was like, I would play in that room, in that area. So I just knew like God like equipped me to be that. And just seeing you chase your dreams, I felt like, well, that's why we have nice things. So I'm like, please God, just don't. And then also one thing, when you go back to like what you tell your children, Granny always used to tell me I was lazy. And so I genuinely grew up thinking, because I wasn't as hardworking as like, our grandparents, they're like, you should be cleaning from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And what do you mean you're bored? It's so many things to do around this house. You should be washing walls and cleaning the floor with a toothbrush. And it's like, I don't want to do that. It is like, well, you're lazy, you're spoiled, you're a lazy little brat. Like, so she's like, but she instilled in me, I thought I was lazy. I thought that was like a disease I had that I couldn't get rid of. And so I just didn't want to be, I was like, God, please let me not be lazy. Like, give me what I need so that I don't ever have to be poor, because I've always liked nice things. I remember walking in the store as a little kid and I would pick out the most expensive thing, and the people would be like, well, wow, you've got a nice taste there, young lady, and not knowing the prices of things. So I think that was my biggest fear. But I remember hearing God's voice, and he literally told me, and I genuinely believe this to my core. I heard him say, you're never going to have to worry about money.
And you know what?
You might have to work for it. It might have to come in different, you might have to do, not different things, like do a little strange for some change, not like that. But you might have to go about things in a different way. But money is never going to be an issue. And I genuinely operate like that. Money is not an issue to me. There might be times where I have to save a little bit. I might not spend as much as I can, but I am a millionaire.
Absolutely.
I'm a billionaire.
Absolutely.
I used to be a millionaire. Now I'm a billionaire.
Absolutely.
It's all up here.
Absolutely. You just can't write the check yet.
Yeah, no, don't cash it.
I tell people that every day.
No bounce.
I literally tell
Like
people
All-Star
that
Weekend.
I live by that methodology, and I literally tell people that every day. I'm a billionaire. The money is in the bank. I just can't write the check yet.
Yeah.
But I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
And so I believe that as you speak those things as if they're so.
Yep. So yeah, that was my greatest fear. But look at that.
Okay.
Overcame that fear.
All right.
Never gonna be poor.
Never going to be poor.
All right, y'all. Well, that concludes our first episode of Mommy and Me. Please, if you haven't already done so, wait, we didn't tell them your name. You gotta tell people your name. What do you want these people to call you? Because they calling me Brii, and you better not ever say my government name up here again.
Call me Renee.
You want to go by Miss Renee?
Miss Renee is fine.
Miss Renee. I don't like the name. She just
They
want
call
to be
me
so bad. Y'all see how Brii Renee, she would be.
You got to
Miss
understand,
Renee.
I was the first Renee, okay?
Jesus.
I'm the first Renee. On the next episode, I'll tell you how she got to be Renee.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Okay, anyways. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Mommy and Me with Brii Renee and Miss Renee. And if you have not done so, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, turn on your post notifications so you can know each and every Monday when these episodes drop, and share this with a mom. I feel like some moms out there could
Girl, we got some things to tell you, okay?
Yeah, we got more coming. Stay tuned.